In this lesson, you'll practice using tools and panels and navigating through a simple layout. You will use this document only to explore the InDesign work area. The lesson file represents the final version of the document. You will not make permanent changes to objects, add graphics, or modify text. Rather, you will reverse any changes you make using Edit, Undo. Building a habit with the Undo feature helps you experiment and recover from any mistakes. To ensure that the preferences and default settings of your InDesign program match those used in this lesson, move the InDesign defaults file to a different folder following the procedure in saving and restoring the InDesign defaults file on pages 3 and 4. Start InDesign. The InDesign home screen displays. Now click the Open button. If the home screen does not display, choose File, Open from the InDesign menu bar. Open the 01_start.indd file in the Lesson 01 folder located inside the Lessons folder within the InDesign CIB folder on your hard drive. If an alert informs you that the document contains links to sources that have been modified, click Update Modified Links. If any learning resource panels display, close them by clicking Ignore or a close box. Now choose File, Save As. Rename the file 01_intro.indd and save it in the Lesson 01 folder. Using the scroll bars on the document window, scroll down to see the second page of the postcard and then scroll back up to the first page of the postcard. The InDesign work area encompasses everything you see when you first open or create a document. By default, InDesign shows tools and panels available in the Essentials workspace. You can customize the InDesign work area to suit your work style. For example, you can choose to display only the panels you frequently use, minimize and rearrange panel groups, resize windows, and so on. By default, you will see the following: the menu bar at the top of the screen, the Tools panel docked at the left side of the screen, the Properties panel and other commonly used panels docked at the right side of the screen. The configuration of the panels in the work area is referred to as the workspace. You can save your custom workspace setup or choose among special purpose setups such as interactive for PDF, printing and proofing, and typography. The Tools panel contains tools for creating and modifying page objects, adding and formatting text and images, and working with color. By default, the Tools panel is docked to the upper left corner of the work area. In this exercise, you will select and experiment with several tools. The Selection tool lets you move and resize objects. It lets you select objects for formatting, such as applying a fill color. Here, you will click to select the Selection tool. Later, you will experiment with other methods of selecting tools. Locate the Tools panel at the far left side of the screen. Point at each tool in the Tools panel to see its name. Click the Selection tool at the top of the Tools panel. Using the Selection tool, click near the hummingbird's head to select the graphics frame containing the hummingbird photograph. Drag the frame up and to the left to see how frames move. The frame's location on the page is shown near the Selection tool pointer and in the Properties panel at the right. In addition to viewing information in this panel, you can make adjustments to selected objects. For example, you can crop the image to control the portions that display. After you release the mouse button, press Ctrl-Z on Windows or Command-Z on Mac OS to undo the move. With the selection tool still selected, click other objects on the page and drag them to new locations. The page contains another image in a graphics frame, a rectangular text frame, and an elliptical text frame. Undo each move immediately after you do it. Now you will switch to the Type tool, which lets you enter, edit, and format text much like you would in a word processor or email application. Rather than clicking to select it, you will use its keyboard shortcut. Point at the Type tool to display its tooltip. The letter shown in parentheses indicates a single-letter keyboard shortcut for selecting this tool. In this case, the letter is T. Point at various other tools to see their single-letter keyboard shortcuts. Now press T on the keyboard to select the Type tool. Click after the word flower beds and the period on the right side of the postcard. Type a space and a few characters to get a feel for the Type tool. Press Ctrl-Z on Windows or Command-Z on Mac OS to undo any changes to the postcard text. With the Type tool still selected, click in other words and revise the text. Undo each change after you finish typing. Now you will switch to the Line tool, which lets you create horizontal, vertical, and diagonal lines. Once you've experimented with the Line tool, you will select the Hand tool temporarily by holding its keyboard shortcut, H. When you release the keyboard shortcut, InDesign reverts to the previously selected tool. This technique is useful for quickly using a tool. For example, you might use the Hand tool to move to another area of a page and then create a line there. Click the Line tool to select it. Drag to create a line anywhere on the page. With the Line tool still selected, press and hold the H key on the keyboard. While you hold the H key, the Hand tool is selected. Drag the Hand tool around to view another area of the page. When you release the H key, the Line tool remains selected. Now press Ctrl-Z on Windows or Command-Z on Mac OS to undo the line creation. So far, you have selected tools that display on the Tools panel in 3 ways: clicking them, pressing a keyboard shortcut, and holding a keyboard shortcut to select the tool temporarily. Now you will select a tool that is not visible on the Tools panel. A small triangle in the lower right corner of a tool indicates a menu of additional hidden tools. In this exercise, you will create frames by selecting and using the Rectangle Frame tool and then the Ellipse Frame tool. When designing a document, you would create these frames to contain imported graphics and text. If necessary to see the page, choose View, Fit Page in Window. Choose View, Screen Mode, Normal, so that you can see the frames that contain graphics and text. Press F on the keyboard to select the Rectangle Frame tool. Scroll to the left to view the pasteboard surrounding the document. Click and drag to create a rectangular graphics frame. Press Ctrl-Z on Windows or Command-Z on Mac OS to undo the frame creation. To see the Ellipse Frame tool, press and hold on the Rectangle Frame tool to display additional hidden tools. Select the Ellipse Frame tool and notice how it replaces the Rectangle Frame tool. Drag to create an oval graphics frame anywhere on the page or pasteboard. Notice the object placement information shown in the Transform area of the Properties panel. Press Ctrl-Z or Command-Z as many times as necessary to undo the frame creation. Press and hold the Ellipse Frame tool to display the menu, and choose the Rectangle Frame tool to display it again. This is the default tool that displays. Review the remaining hidden tools. Click each tool with a triangle and hold down the mouse button to see its menu of additional tools. The tools with menus for hidden tools include Content Collector, Type, Pen, Pencil, Rectangle Frame, Rectangle, Free Transform, Color Theme, View Options, and Screen Mode. InDesign provides many more panels than are shown in the default Essentials workspace. In this exercise, you will switch to the Advanced workspace to view the Control panel, which displays immediately below the menu bar and offers quick access to expansive options for editing selected objects. Depending on your screen size, you may prefer to use the Control panel as it takes up less space than the Properties panel. As with the Properties panel, the Control panel is context sensitive, which means it displays settings based on what you have selected on the page. To see the panels and menu commands used in the following steps, choose Window, Workspace, Advanced, and then choose Window, Workspace, Reset Advanced. Notice the Control panel across the top of the screen. If necessary, choose View, Screen Mode, Normal, so that you can see the frames that contain graphics and text. In the Tools panel, select the Direct Selection tool, which is immediately below the Selection tool. Click the Hummingbird image. The Control panel provides options for controlling the size and position of the graphics frame, the scale of the image, and other attributes. In the Control panel, click the up and down arrows next to the Scale X percentage and Scale Y percentage fields to see how you can resize the image. Press Ctrl Z on Windows or Command Z on Mac OS as many times as necessary to undo any changes. In the Tools panel, select the Type tool. Click in the word Hummingbird in the headline. The Control panel now provides options for controlling paragraph and character formatting. If necessary, click Character Formatting Controls at the far left side of the Control panel. Double-click to select the word Hummingbird, and click once on the down arrow on the font size field, as shown, to decrease the size of the type. Experiment with other text formatting options. Press Ctrl Z or Command Z to undo the change. Click the pasteboard, the blank area outside the pages, to deselect the text. The document window and pasteboard have the following characteristics. Controls for displaying different pages in the document are in the lower left corner of the document window. Each page or spread is surrounded by its own pasteboard. You can use the pasteboard as a work area or storage area, for example, to place design elements not yet included in the page layout. Now you will look at the pasteboard and review features in the document window. To see all the pages in the document in the pasteboard, you will decrease the view scale. Click the Zoom Level menu in the lower left corner of the document window, and then select 75% from the menu. In the 75% view, you will see a circular text frame on the pasteboard to the right of page 1. In the Tools panel, select the Selection tool. Click the circular text frame, which contains the words Free Community Workshop Series. Drag the frame from the pasteboard to the document page and see how it looks in various spots. Press Ctrl Z on Windows or Command Z on Mac OS multiple times until the text frame returns to the pasteboard. Now choose View, Fit Page in Window. In the lower left corner of the document window, click the arrow next to the page number field to display a menu of document pages and parent pages. Choose 2 from the menu to display page 2 in the document window. Click the arrow to the left of the page number field to turn back to page 1. Then choose View, Screen Mode, Preview to hide the frame guides. When you open multiple documents, each document displays in its own tab of the main document window. You can also open multiple windows for a single document so that you can see different parts of the layout at one time. Essentially, you can see more than one view of a document at the same time. Here, you'll create a second window so that you can see how changes to the headline affect the entire page. Choose Window, Arrange, New Window for 01 underscore intro.indd. A new window titled 01 underscore intro.indd2 opens. The original window is now titled 01 underscore intro.indd1. Select the Zoom tool in the Tools panel. In the second window, 01 underscore intro.indd2, click 3 times on the word Workshop to zoom in on the text. Notice that the other window stays at its original magnification. Press T on the keyboard to select the Type tool. In the second window, click at the end of the word Workshop and add an S to make it plural, workshops. Notice the change in both windows. If this change impacted the overall design, you'd be able to spot it right away. Press Ctrl Z on Windows or Command Z on Mac OS to restore the word Workshop. Choose Window, Arrange, New Window for 01 underscore intro.indd to create an additional window. Choose Options from the Window Arrange submenu to see the various ways to arrange open windows. Choose Window, Arrange, Consolidate all windows. This creates a tab for each window. Click the tabs in the upper left corner below the Control panel to control which document window to display. Click the Close Document Window button on all the additional tabs, leaving one open. It doesn't matter which one remains open. If necessary, choose View, Fit Page and Window.